Bring your attention in. Notice what's going on with you right in this moment. When we do that, we notice what our environment is inside and outside. The external environment would include sounds, air temperature, the support that we have for our body if we're sitting on a chair or lying down somewhere. And just for a moment as we start, take that all in. And notice if you feel comfortable in your environment, if you could really relax for the next 20 minutes or so as we look at thought, and in particular look at fearful thoughts. It's really good to notice if you feel safe right now in your own environment. So take a few deep breaths. And as we do that, we can scan our body from head to toes, just kind of a light touch. Notice what's going on in the body right now. And as you breathe out, it's a natural way to relax, let the whole system kind of settle a bit. One thing we notice about thought is that it really affects our whole body. It affects our breath. It affects the sensation and feeling in our body. And thoughts tend to generate other thoughts. So thoughts can happen kind of on their own. Let's just stop for a moment. Even before we go into the relaxation, let's stop and notice what's happening in our thoughts right now. Thoughts show up in that area behind the forehead. And when we stop to notice them, quite often there will be a bit of a moment of silence there. And then something will come in. And notice as thought comes in, what is the response in your body? And what's the response in our breath? When we have a thought that's got any kind of fear or anxiety, it really affects our breath. Often our breathing becomes tighter or more shallow up in our chest. It's just part of our survival system. And fortunately, with our breath, we can allow the breath to become smoother with our attention, and that helps to calm our whole system. Sometimes it's a sensation in our body that seems to be generating thoughts. It could be words, it could be pictures or images, or it could be sensation. Those are the three parts, or the three elements that all work together. And we can really start observing or noticing how our experience is showing up through any one of those three, through words that come into our mind, through images or pictures or video clips, or through sensations or feelings or energy in our body. And we have a body, we have breath, and we have thoughts in the mind. And we're also right now observing or witnessing what's happening in those layers. There's more to our mind than just the thoughts that are going through the mind. We also have this capacity to pay attention and notice our experience. Bring your attention to your forehead and your eyebrows. Soften the muscles of your forehead, bring your eyebrows up and down a few times, and then let them settle. As we go through the practice right now, we're not trying to let the thoughts necessarily be in the background. We're paying attention to thoughts as well as breath and energy sensations. As you're relaxing your forehead and softening those muscles of the forehead and the eyebrows, notice if that allows the thought stream to calm down a bit, become a bit quieter. We don't actually have to do anything with our thoughts. It's more of a relaxing in the forehead, and the thoughts would have a response to the relaxation in our body. And relax the corners of your eyes and eyelids, the deep muscles of your eyes as well. Let your sense of sight turn inward. And bring your attention down into your mouth and jaw. Notice if there's a feeling of air flowing through the back of the mouth into the throat. Notice the nose as well. There's an airflow over the membranes of the nose. Comes down in through the mouth and throat into the lungs. And notice the thoughts that are present as you're noticing your breath and the mouth, the jaw, the throat. Some of our thoughts will be kind of informational or perceptions, like, oh, I can feel the air flowing through the back of my throat. It feels a bit cooler. I'm noticing that my breath is kind of tight. And when I focus on that, it becomes longer. So some of those thoughts that we have are just observations really about what's going on. One function of the mind is to notice what's going on and comment on it to make sure that we notice. That can be kind of a busy area of the mind. Relax the jaw. You could move your lower jaw back and forth a bit. And then let it settle so that your teeth are not clenched. Still noticing a little bit the forehead and the eyebrows, the flow of the breath in the nose, the feeling in your mouth and jaw and throat. And notice what thoughts are coming through your mind. And when we pause for even a minute or so, often other types of unrelated thoughts come in. They could be worries or fear, something that's going on in our lives right now. Intrusive thoughts are another form of thoughts. They're not just observational. There's a different quality to them, to intrusive thoughts. They're often some kind of worry or fear based on the future, or perhaps some kind of regret about the past. In that sense, they're not focused on the present moment, although the fears or the thoughts themselves are coming up to be seen in the present moment. Let your mind focus for a moment on something that's coming up for you, some kind of fear or anxiety. Usually the mind doesn't need a lot of encouragement for that. It's usually right there. Words and pictures. And notice if there's any response in your breath or in your body to those thoughts. We've only been focusing on the face primarily and the head. Notice if there's been some tightness through your forehead or eyebrows. We often tense in that part of the face when we're worried. Your jaw might have gotten tight again, or maybe the neck or the throat. Focus now on the body again. See if you can relax or soften the muscles of the face and the throat, the jaw, the mouth, that whole area. And remember back to when we first started and you were checking in to see if you feel safe. If your environment is calm and safe enough for you to relax, notice that as well. And bring your attention from your face and neck around to the back of the neck and the shoulders. Notice the muscles of your upper back as well. The back of our body often activates when we feel we need to protect ourselves. So notice if anything like that's going on for you. Might be that our shoulders have risen up a little bit towards our ears. We might be hunching forward a little bit. There might be a feeling of energy or activation or contraction, almost like a shield. Whatever it is that's happening in the back of your body, the back of the neck, shoulders, upper back, let's focus there for a moment. Focus on the feeling of it, the energy, the sense perceptions as well. You might have a feeling of connection with your chair if you're sitting up and being supported that way. And keep an eye on your thoughts as you're paying attention to this part of your body. Notice if being tight through this area would actually help keep you safer in the environment that you're in right now. If there are fearful thoughts in the mind about something that could happen in the future or something that's happening today, is it happening right now in the room that you're in? And would that kind of contraction through the back of your body actually make you safer? Our bodies have habits of contracting and protecting ourselves. And sometimes it's helpful to send some reassurance to that part of the body that it's okay. It's all right to soften and relax on the out-breath in particular. Doing that on the out-breath helps us to work with our system of relaxation. And that actually resting now will help us to be calmer and more able to protect ourselves if we need to. So it's actually very beneficial to let go of this automatic contraction and protection. And then let all the words settle. Really just focus on relaxing and softening as you breathe. And notice what's happening in your thoughts. There might be information type thoughts. There could be intrusive thoughts about the past or the future, what's going to happen. Focusing on this relaxation can help to give us some calm and space in the mind. That's one of the reasons why we do this kind of relaxation practice. Partly it's to calm our system, and partly it's to have a break from those kinds of thoughts. They're very agitating, and it's not really all that helpful for us to have that going on all the time. It's nice to have a respite from it. Notice how you can feel your breath in your stomach area and chest. Put your main focus right now on the muscles that are involved in breathing. If there's any kind of contraction or tightness in your stomach area, see if you can really soften through your belly so that when you breathe, the diaphragm muscle moves with the breath. And there won't be any resistance or tightness to a long, relaxing breath. When our stomach muscles are relaxed, they can easily stretch to accommodate the length that they need for a deep in-breath. And everything softens and releases as we breathe out. And for the next couple of minutes, let's actually let all of our thoughts be in the background. Really focus your attention now on the breath and the evenness in particular, the smooth continuity of your breath. Notice as soon as you're finished breathing out, there's that feeling of emptying the lungs, and then there's a feeling of needing an in-breath. So let yourself move smoothly into the in-breath. And when you finish breathing in, let the breath go. And really keep your mind, your attention focused on the transition points in the breath. If thoughts come in, let them be in the background. Really focus your attention just on that rhythm and wave of breath. And then keeping some awareness on your breath, bring your attention back to your whole body, head to toes, torso, arms, hands, legs, feet. Notice your environment. Notice your whole experience again. Open your eyes and include the visual information into your experience. And notice if even with the eyes open, you can touch back into the breath and the relaxation through your body. And set an intention to carry some of this mindfulness practice with you into the day.